Hey folks, it's Rithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. I'm just going to bring this trailer up round here so that it is ready to start collecting the bales. And then I'm going to drop it right there. And we're going to run down to this tractor down here. We're going to back up round like this. And we're going to get straight back into baling up the straw around the outside edge of this field. Once I have done the 2 rounds around the outside of the field, we will then gather up the bales with the trailer, and then we can put the rake going in the fields. Well, we'll put the rake going in this field, and I'll probably go and get the fertilizer spinner on while the rake is going and spread fertilizer up in the grass field up there, although I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do that. So I'll bring that on around there. Now, I've already sold the silage. I'm not going to sell the oats because we've not got enough. So I'm going to put that onto 5 times speed now. We've gone past the cutting of the grass. No other reason. Until we actually start planting, that will now stay on the 5 times speed. And I'm going to try and get this done as quickly as we can with the straw and everything. I want to try and get like all of the jobs done together if I can. So I'll get the rake going in the straw as quickly as possible, and then we can get going with the baler. What I might actually... No, yes, I will. So long as I can make it work, I will put the rake going in the straw, and then use this trailer, use this tractor to run around and gather up the bales and drag them back into the yard. And then I can hook the baler onto this tractor afterwards, and we can get going. I'm hoping that that will work. It should do. I don't see any reason why it won't, because like we're only going to have the trailer going for a little while. And that means that the rake will get a little bit of a head start, because the rake goes slightly... Oh, wait a minute. Does it go faster or slower than us? You know, to be honest, I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference. So maybe we'll just do it like it is, rather than trying to complicate things. I was just thinking that maybe we could change over a couple of the jobs, but no, we won't do that. We'll worry about fertilizing when we come to do the planting at the same time, and we get both jobs done together. That one line down through there, I'm not going to bale that one. What I'll do is I'll turn around here. If I get that one like that, then I can come out and spin round like this, and then I'll go back round the field the other way, and then I will put the hired help going, and that one can run down the field in the opposite direction, and everything should be alright with that. Like that one line down there, we can do that once the hired help starts doing some raking. And hopefully, if all goes well, it won't cause any problems with it. I mean, what we could always do is start the rake from the other side, and rake from that edge of the field back over to this one. That could work as well. That's as equally as doable. Actually, I think we might do that. I don't normally. I normally go the longer side first with the baling, don't I? You know, actually, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter all that much. We've got a little bit of stuff over there with the sheep, but nothing that we need to worry about at the moment. I've gone and made silage this time round, but we're not... Well, we've got some hay there. I think we've probably got enough hay to keep us going for a little while. I was seriously considering buying a hay dryer in this series, but I don't think I will. And we've also got loose hay storage systems that we could use. And that was another one that I was considering doing, is that, you know, the base game hay... Hayloft, I think it is, isn't it? I was seriously considering using that one in this series. I thought that might actually be a pretty good one to bring into the series, but... Again, it's kind of... I'm not sure at the moment. It's another one of those little things that I'm sort of toying with in the back of my mind, and not 100% sure if I think I want to do it or not. So I'm going to leave... I think I might just leave it for a minute. Talk about it a little, yes, but not actually do anything. I do tend to do that rather a lot, though. All talk and no performance. So we will... Yeah, we'll leave that one on hold for a minute. Maybe we'll come back to it, maybe not. The thing that I'm looking at here is on the edges of these various different runs. Is that going to... No, I thought for a minute it was going to dump that bale right in the middle. It usually does. You go out to a corner, and like it always seems to time to drop a bale right on the corner where you were just about to turn round. It's amazing at doing that. It really is. It'll cling to the bale for ages when it doesn't matter. When it does matter, it will dump it right where you least want it. And that's always a given when it comes to this game. It doesn't seem to matter what stage you're at. It doesn't seem to matter what mode you have it on. There's some secret hidden code deep within the core of this game that makes it do that. Every single time. Right, I'm going to stop you there. You don't need to do anything else for a minute. And we're going to go back to this one. And we're going to go for a quick mosey on round in this direction. And we're going to gather up all of these straw bales that are here. And as soon as I've gathered them, I will then go... I'll bring the trailer back up and drop it off somewhere. We will get that rake on, and we will start raking up the rest of this straw so that we can get going with the baling as well. We should, if all goes well, just about finish all of the baling today. And then that's another job done. And then next up, we've got planting to do. I'm not ready to start planting corn just yet. Although, actually, the only thing I would need is a planter. I can do the cultivating to prepare the field with the cultivator we've got, although I would prefer to have a bigger cultivator. I'm still thinking that wheat is the best option. Maybe not like the best proper rotation crop to put in. Not necessarily want to do wheat after oats. You'd probably want to be doing something along the lines of beans or canola or something after the oats, and then go back to doing the wheat. But I don't think it's too bad an option. I think it will be all right like this. I think it's an acceptable option. Now I got half of my load here, so I'm going to run this one right. I'm not going to worry about that one bale sticking out the back. It doesn't matter. So long as we've cleared most of the stuff out of the way, it's fine. So we can run back down here. So yeah, I am wondering whether we should do canola. But beans is our kind of one like that for the pigs. Right. I'll do that. And we've got a load of beans. And then if I do more beans, like if I decide that we've got a few too many, we can always sell a load and still have some kept back for feeding the pigs with. So it's kind of like... Yes, it would be good to go and grow some canola. Not going to do sunflowers. Although some people have said that sunflowers wouldn't necessarily be out of the way. I probably don't want to treat my rake like this. Dancing it around like that is probably not the best way to treat the rake. But what's done is done. We've committed now. So we may as well commit properly. And do a little bit of rake drifting like that. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's well balanced. The tyres are strong. There is no harm done. Nothing to see here, folks. Be about your business. And I'm going to bring you up to here, and then I'm going to press H just like that. And I'm hoping it's not going to. It's going to get to there, and it's going to go forward a bit, and then it's going to do more daftness. And then it's going to do more daftness still. And it's going to... Why do you have to keep putting down and picking up like that? It's no benefit to anybody on something like that. Surely you can read ahead and see that 6 centimeters in front of you, it's still exactly... It's the same crop. You still have that to deal with. It's going to do it here. It's going to go on that... Oh, no, it's not. It's actually gone through and done it properly this time. Whether it's going to do it up there... I don't know. It does like to leave the odd little bit here and there. But it seems to be working. So then you'll turn round here. And hopefully, if all goes well, it will pick up the stuff that it's left behind. That'll go in here. The fact that the combine was using the alternative method of, like, putting the rows down, we were using the AI vehicle extension to do it. Yeah, it has left one little bit there. Means that what we've ended up with is the rows sort of crossing over a little bit, and by having the rows crossing over a little bit like that, it means that we're less likely to get issues at the ends of the rows. and less likely to have issues going up through the rows as well. At least this is what I'm hoping. So the going diagonally across them does seem to improve the performance of the rake when it's doing just standard work, because the rake doesn't seem to do so well with the AI vehicle extension. Doesn't seem to like it. Now this running up through here is only like on these ends up here that it may encounter a little bit of an issue, but it doesn't seem to. There, go right up to there and stop. Okay, that one can keep going there. We're going to run back down to this one. I will just bail up. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to bail up that one. I'm going to leave that one because there is the possibility that by the time the rows get over here, it's going to want to do something with that. And I'm kind of thinking along the lines of, if it does want to do something with it, I don't want to interfere with it. Because, like, if there's a bale in the way down through there, I'm going to have to go and move those bales out of the way in order to be able to get everything to work properly. And I don't want to, like, have to mess around with it. So if we can just stick to this, I can get the baling done. We can follow along behind without having to go back on myself too sharply either. I can go all the way down over to there, and then, you know what, I might just take out these couple of short runs here. Just a minute. While that one's messing around over there, I can take out these short bits here, and then I'll be able to chase on afterwards and start doing some longer runs properly. I've got that one little bit of straw. That tiny little bit. Obviously, it's not going to make any difference to the overall performance of anything whatsoever, but I still want to make sure that I grab it. There, like that. Now, what is the prices doing at the moment? We've started going in, going a little bit faster in time. So the oats is coming down. We want to make sure that is above 1,000 if we want to think about selling. Beans at the moment are 1,066. I think they go a fair bit higher than that. Eggs are 2,396. So eggs are 2,400, which is pretty good. Wool is way, way down. We know that we get a lot more money than that. Silage is up, and straw, I think, at $60 per 1,000. You see, I'm genuinely not sure about that. I'm genuinely not sure if that's a good price or not. I think it might be, but I've got no real way of actually being able to tell. So I'm going to just leave it for a minute. And because I haven't sort of been paying close attention to the numbers as they come up, so I'm not 100% sure which numbers would be really good and which numbers not so much. Now, I'll come up through here, and oh, I thought for a minute I was going to miss a little bit there. Unfortunately, the rake is going to go back up through, and I suspect it's going to get up there, and then it's going to say, can't do any more, I give up. And it's not going to head back down the bottom. It's doing all right over that side. But whether it's going to do all right going the other way as well, I don't really know. We'll have to wait and find out in a minute. We'll let it do what it's going to do. He's gone all the way down the other end to turn, so he's going to have a nice long run all the way up through there. That's a good thing, that is. It looks like he may have missed a bit right down the other end. But it's up here. This bit right here, whether or not that's going to work. Not sure yet. Is he? Is he going to do it? Needs to keep a close eye on this. What's he going to do? No, he's going to go straight on through. He looks like he might be alright with that. I'm going to bring you in round this way. I will run up this row right here. So yes, I'm turning a bit sharp with the baler, unfortunately, but we don't really have a lot of choice on that. Now that one's going to go and do some weirdness with the little patch. No, it's not. It's just going to leave the little patches completely. He's going to reverse all the way up here, and then he's going to turn round. Whether he's going to do anything odd while he attempts to turn round, I don't really know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I can just scoop up this bit up here. Make sure that's neat and tidy. And then, should be a bit faster with that one as well, working down there. So I need to turn right round on myself again, so that I can tidy up this bit. I'm going to do a nice, neat, tidy job of the field this time. Like, a number of times I've gone and done the baling, and I've left just a few odd little patches here and there, which, to be honest, is unacceptable. That's not the kind of behaviour that we think is acceptable. We don't want that kind of behaviour at all. The tractor there is actually running at pretty much the same speed as what I'm running, so this, he's not going to gain a lot of ground on me. I could go and get the baler, not the baler, the trailer, I suppose, and pick up these bales over here. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought there was 2 trailer loads out of this. There is not 2 trailer loads. We've got 6 bales over there. We'll have 1, maybe 1.5 trailer loads out of all of this, which isn't a great deal. Right, that's really not a huge amount. I'm going to leave that a second. And while that's doing some other stuff, we will clean off this combine. And we'll get the combine put away. You know, it's our brand new combine. We need to look after this bad boy. We need to look after this. Make sure that everything is all tickety-boo and that everything is in its place. We've got the spare bits there for the front of the combine, for the header. Those spare lifters, those are. Just in case those... well, I think they are. They look like lifters. They go on the front. On here. You clip... Well, they look like lifters. Maybe there's something else. There's none over this side. But they do look like spare lifters. Right, you put them on a little thing up there. And then lifters, what you do is you put them on the front here. And if you've got crop that's lying down, they stick out a bit. They stick out sort of about that far. And they run level with the bottom of the combine, but they've got these just raised bits on the front. So that when you go into the crop, it just lifts it up high enough so that the knife can cut through it. That's for when you've got crop lying on its side. And they're really, really useful. You have a job to... cut it. You do have to sort of look at which way the crop is lying and cut it in the opposite direction so that you're going towards the direction that the crop is lying. The crop is, when it's lying down, it's lying towards you, and it's not lying. So it's not been sort of standing upright and it's fallen that way. So that you're going over it, it needs to be lying upright and going that way so that your lifters come up and they sort of push it up as they go into it, and then they can do everything they need to do. I'll drive this one round. We will do a repair job on this one, then it can go in the shed. Then we can jump back onto our baler and carry on with the baling, which should... The rake should have gone far enough ahead now that we'll be able to keep going with that. Go back in over here and go to there. Repair that one. Yes. And then repair that one as well. Yes. That was probably a good quarter of the way down on the damage bar. And we didn't really do a great deal, did we? There wasn't a lot of harvesting done there in order to be able to get to that point, which I'm not all that thrilled about. Right? That's... sort of indicates it's going to be quite an expensive thing to maintain if you're going to constantly have it wearing out like that. Now, we've got 2 choices. We can put it in facing front ways, or we can put in facing back ways. I'm going to put it in front ways, like this. I'm going to bring that one in up like that. There. And we'll stop you right there. I'm going to put that one in facing this way this time. I normally put it in the other way, but yeah, I quite like that. That fits in very well there. And that means that those sharp spikes potentially sticking out. I know with these old combines, well, a lot of people would just leave them on. They wouldn't do anything with them, just leave them on. But you undo some bolts in there, and then the bit of metal, it slides out. It looks like they got some bolts in underneath on that one. Right there. There's a big bolt there, and there's probably another catch on the other side of that one. You undo them, and then they slide out, and you can store them away on other places on the combine. That's normally what would happen. But we're not going to. Well, that's what would happen if you wanted to put your combine away somewhere. But we don't want to do that. We want to leave our if you want to put the header away, if you want to do anything like that with it. We don't want to do that. I just want to leave the combine exactly as it is so that it's ready for the next harvest. Which is a legitimate thing to do. There is no shame in just leaving it attached to the combine. Many people do. That is a very legitimate option to take. Now, I said I was hoping that we would finish the baling today, and I think that we might. Given the rate that one is getting across the field now, we've got a few runs that he's gone ahead of us, which is good. And as soon as we finish this, I will be jumping onto the seed drill, and we will start drilling this field. Although I'm thinking that it might be an idea to spread fertilizer on the field first. If we spread fertilizer on here, then we can go and do the seed drilling. And then once we've done the drilling, we can then go along and start doing the... well, we'd want more fertilizer to go behind the drill. Actually, yeah, so we'll put fertilizer onto this field, and then we can get the drill going in this field while we go and put fertilizer on that field up there, and then we can come back down here and we can follow the drill behind with another load of fertilizer immediately, and that will be everything. The only other thing that we'll need to do is apply herbicide to this field. That would be the only other thing that will be left to do, which shouldn't take too long to do anyway. We've got the sprayer, we've got it all ready, so once we get some weeds, I mean, we can go on and do it as a preventative treatment, but you can't use the hired help to do that. We have to do that ourselves. So we've either got to wait for the weeds to grow and then go through and do it as a treatment, but we can set the hired help going, or we've got to do it ourselves. It's one or the other. But what I was sort of thinking is just wait for the weeds to grow, and we can go and cut down a few more of those trees up there while we're waiting for other stuff to happen. And I think that would be quite a good option, because that's going to get us a load more money. Definitely make sure that we've got the money available for an upgraded cultivator, the 6-meter one that I was talking about, and also a planter, so that we can get that done. The plough that we've got is the plough that we're keeping. So after we've done corn, maize, whatever you want to call it, we will need to plough up the field. That's something that's going to have to happen, because otherwise we're going to end up with a yield hit. We lose a little bit of yield if we don't plough the field properly. So we have to do that after we've done the corn, but that's not until after. It does take a minute or two to get through the ploughing of the field, and we're going to have other ploughing we need to do as well. It's going to be that field up there that we're going to need to plough. To start with, that field up there will be planted with grass, and we will do a bigger grass harvest. And there's no harm with doing that at all, because if we find, you know, I'm sort of thinking that the first cut would be silage anyway. There's going to be a lot of bales of silage. We get a full trailer just off that little bit on there, and we will have a much bigger field. Possibly the first cut that I do with the new field will include all of the original field, so we'll have the bit that goes up round beside the big stone as well, rather than just in a straight line from that big stone down. And with all of that ploughed up and turned into field, we're going to have quite the yield on our field. It's going to give us quite a lot of bales. So I'm very tempted to go through and just bale up, to like plough up everything along the top there, and sort of call that a day then, like the entire lot all the way along. One other thing that we do need to do that I keep forgetting about is plant trees up there. Now, a few people have suggested I should get a... I should just put trees down rather than getting a tree planter and doing it that way. I don't know if we've got any on here. Decoration, I don't know if we've got decorative trees at the moment. There are decorative trees that you can buy. There's none there. Shed, silos, miscellaneous, is it maybe? I think there is. I don't think I've got trees available to buy, but there is a mod that does allow you to place trees down. Global company here. Nothing there. Farmhouses is just the farmhouses. But it doesn't look like there is going to be any option for that from in here. Like the bales, that's just stuff that you buy loose. So no, it doesn't look like there's any option there, but there is mods that allow you to go and place trees down. And a few people have suggested, rather than going to all the hassle of getting a tree planter, bringing it back here, using it along that, just that one bank up there, and then returning it, why not just plant some full-size trees and leave them? Not worry about planting the trees up there, because it's kind of not really related to what we're doing. It is something that we would need to do if we were in this kind of region, in a region like this. I've been told by a number of different people that it is something that I would need to look at. However, it's not something that would be sort of hugely life-altering if we didn't get it done. Looks like he's just going down that one row there and straightening that out. I don't know if he's going to go back over and try and do a bit more where those couple little bits are left over, or whether he's just going to leave that. Could go either way on that one, to be honest. I think that could go either way. Right. I'm going to run up over here. I'm going to take this run here for my next row. Then we come back down the outside. No, he's stopped up there. He's decided that he's had enough of the baling. We will finish up the baling, and then in our next episode, we will be gathering up the bales, and we will be getting the fertilizer spinner started almost straight away as well. The Deutz will take the fertilizer spinner, I think. We'll use the little tractor in the yard for washing machinery and putting it away, which is what I will do before I go back into the trees there. But going into the trees is something that we're going to be doing pretty soon. I kind of want to do a session with the stump grinder before I start doing the planting, purely because otherwise I'm going to be left with a huge amount of stumps to do right at the end with this one, and then that's going to be like a full episode of just stump grinding, and I don't really want to do that. It gets a little bit tedious for me to do the stump grinding, so I imagine it's probably a little bit tedious to watch just doing that as well, so it's not something that I really want to do. I mean, it's like the baling. It's fun to do a bit of, but I don't like doing loads and loads of it all at once, because certainly in an episode like this, it does get a bit tedious. If I'm doing time-lapse, it's a bit different. Now, I will sometimes sit there for 3 or 4 hours and do the same job continuous, but like I said, that's different. I don't have to think of things to talk about all the way through for a start, which does make a difference. I am capable of talking continuously for hours, as many of you have now figured out. However, it does make life a little bit more easy. Hang on, just get that round there. If I don't have to do that talking whilst doing the same job continuously without any change. Now, we'll get a lot more straw down this row, because I did very, very carefully when I came down through here, gather 3 rows into one. So we should get a couple of bales at least out of here. See, we got about a trailer and a half out of this, all told. Because we've got half a trailer of bales there already. 12 bales on there. There's easily another 12 in here. I reckon that we've got another 24 bales in here. We'll see. I didn't do any baling, so we'll see. As soon as we finish, we can check. And hang on, I want to go back to that one. Just want to move you down this way. I'll fold that one up as well. And then we can get that one cleaned up and put away a bit later. Bring you down there. You can stop right there like that. And then we can go back to you. Yeah, we'll see how many bales we've done right at the end of this episode, which is going to be when we finish this row. I will come back up and I will get that last little bit of straw right there. I am going to get every single little spot of straw in this field this time round. Don't always do that, but I am going to this time, and that will make sure that we've got... we can see how many bales we've got. If that does make a bale over there, that would be like nothing short of an absolute miracle. But it's not going to, because we're going to make a bale now in a minute, and then we're going to be about 2,000 into the next bale, I think. That's my guess, 2,000-ish. Give or take. 1,000, apparently. Right, so we're 2,966. Now, if we were 7,966 at this point... This is where I would really hope that we'd got 34 litres of straw with that little bit of loose on the ground. I have had that before. I have had it before. Where I've managed to make a bale complete just on that. And there we would have had 11 left over for our next bale. If it had been like... I mean, obviously it's not, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I have had something like that happen before. And it's quite a remarkable sensation when you get to that point and you realise, actually... We've done this absolutely 100% spot on perfect. You could not have asked for a better result than what we got. So I'm going to bring you over this way, and looking at the time, I think we've actually got time to go and gather up at least one lot of bales. What is the price now? It's still on 60. Nothing's changed. It's still on 60. I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to jump over to that one. I'm going to unhitch that, and yes, I will, before I forget, I will go into here, and I will go into here. No, that one, I've accidentally clicked on this screen, didn't I? It sort of freezes up for a moment with me, every single time, just on that one screen whenever I go out of it. It's always this one, I don't know why. I have no idea, but it always, if I go onto that screen, it always freezes up for me. Created bales, 34 bales. So it's not quite a load and a half. We're 2 bales shy of a load and a half. We've got 24 bales on the first load, and then we've got another 10 besides. That's not too bad. I'm actually thinking it might be better just to go and sell the bales now rather than risk the straw price coming. I think it's going to go down. I believe that it goes down from 60. I think 60 is about as good as we're going to get as far as straw is concerned. For other crops, yeah, we'd end up doing a lot better. For other crops, for like hay does better. That goes up to 80 odd. But I don't think the straw is going to go much lower than this. I think that's going to be about it. Now, I need another 7 bales to finish this one off. There's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 will be that one over there. Right, I will grab those. We'll run them back to the yard. It's tempting though it is to fast forward time so that we can get a price change on the straw. Not going to do that. I'm going to leave it as it is. And we'll just drop the straw in the middle of the yard and leave it at that. We're not going to worry about going and getting more. We're not going to worry about trying to get the money for it. And also, because I'm only just bringing it down here, for once I'm not actually going to unload it onto the trailer to move it. I'm going to leave it like that, and then I'm going to dump it down there. And then I will run off. So I'm going to get away from there. I can start it doing the loading sequence again. There we go. And go and grab these last few. So 10 more bales to get. Once I've gotten these 10 bales, that's it. The field is done. I will then be able to start work on the next bit, which will be getting the fertilizer spinner hooked onto this tractor and spreading fertilizer on this field. And then I will be able to start doing the sowing of seed in this field. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I will do twice around the outside edge of the field with the fertilizer spinner. Maybe once, depending. I can't remember what the width of the spinner is, to be honest. Okay, that was not quite according to plan. I can't remember what the width of the spinner is. So once, maybe twice round. Then I can start that one doing the land work. And as soon as that one's doing the land work with the hired help dealing with that bit, I will then be able to jump onto our other tractor over there. We'll clean the baler and we will put it away before we do anything. And then we will... Right, I'm going to put that one over to there. I'm going to unload onto the trailer and I'm going to unhitch that one. Yeah, we'll be able to get the seed drill going, and I can do once around the outside edge with the seed drill, maybe twice, where we've already done fertilizer, and then I can put the hired help going with the seed drill as well, and sort of keep up with the fertilizer spinner at the same time. So I'll be able to get both of these jobs done around about the same sort of time, and that will work quite well. But we're going to have to start that in the next episode. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.